Mostly I was thinking of going through this and then also a little bit of the Emil, I don't know how to say his last name, Emil Heimfeld, Tidy Labs. Because particularly I do like working through it. But yeah, what we will hopefully get a better understanding of next week is we want to implement a binary classification model using the maximal marginal classifier, also using support vector classifier, support vector machines, and be able to generalize to multi-class cases. I think last time we had talked here, I mean, some of us do classification as like a pretty common part of their position. Do you typically choose to do support vector machines or more of like a logistic regression or multi-class? Someone was shaking their head, so I guess not.
Yeah, it's interesting in practice.
Right.
This is one I skip.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, you usually start with the logistic regression,
Yeah.
just to get a baseline and a feeling of how we know
Mm-hmm.
how well those coins are getting into each of the class, usually binary.
Yeah.
And then usually we move to random forest, right?
Mm-hmm.
Because those are the most traditional ways. But let me tell you, I have a situation where supporting vector machines really did well in some of the data, better than random forest, even SGBoost. Okay.
Oh.
I mean, it depends. Data sets are like they're like books. Okay.
Mm-hmm.
Each book has its own idiosyncrasy, its own identity. So data sets have their own identity. So sometimes logistic regression works well. Sometimes random forest or tree-based works well. But supported vector machines, although it's not the one that you will be thinking right off the box, usually you should give it a try.
Yeah.
Okay, and try to tune it to see if you can get a good model, good generalized model.
I like to start with linear regression first, and then see as well if I need to do a bit more of classifications and support vector machines. It's interesting because when you cannot, if you can divide the groups fairly well, so that works. Otherwise, you need to work it out differently.
Yeah. I feel like for me at least, yeah, the logistic regression, and it's probably just a familiarity thing, but it just seems a bit more interpretable, and I think maybe that's where my
the logistic regression,
my particular preference comes from. But okay, well, it looks like we'll be kind of going through a lot of terminology. I do remember because I think, there's just certain fields that use support vector machines, potentially I think more of the machine learning computational side. I'm more of the biological, applied, biological data analysis side. And so I feel like there's probably an area out there that uses support vector machines because, I remember things like, just trying to get the understanding of the hyperplane as a terminology and so, okay, marginal classifier. Okay, so we'll go through this all a little bit more. And then have you been just so I have a fork of the repo. Have you been actually trying to edit your own parts of the chapter and then pushing that back to the main, making a pull request for the main? Okay. The main repo. I can't remember what it's called. Mathematics MMC. Okay.
I had on my chapters, and John Harmon had been helpful in say reviewing the pull request.
Okay.
But I've observed that that isn't true on all chapters all the time. It's not required. But it's kind of nice if you have something to add that you've brought in from some other package.
Yeah.
It's certainly welcome.
Okay, great. Yeah, and then again, maybe adding like some external links. I do like the StatQuest links. Kind of nice to maybe add that. Okay.
Jenny, if you want, after we finish, check the chapter 8, the tree-based methods.
Yeah.
And I found a library, a package in R that you can embed YouTube videos. Okay, you just need the embedded link. So check it out, because I found it, and then I could embed some of the StatQuest videos right there.
That's great.
Because in the traditional way, what you do is just mention the link. But now you can really play the video within the HTML, the browser.
That's really, really nice.
You don't need to go there. You don't need to go to a link and open it in the chat.
Awesome. That'd be really great.
That was a good line.
That is. All right. Okay. So yeah, we'll get to support vector classifiers, support vector machines. So yeah, I guess, I think ultimately, are we thinking about doing, I'm fine to do it, just do like a very quick 1 hour like theory overview, and then the next week we would do and then I think after that I will probably have to sign off from the book club, just because I'm trying to get through some other changes right now, but I think maybe that would be nice, kind of like Federico, as you were mentioning. So I can just spend like 1 hour next week, go through the theory of the different, the classifiers, the vector machines, the support vector classifiers. And then the following week, we can kind of just do the lab that you mentioned, that you had shared. And then we can go through the tidy models lab, because I think the labs are pretty quick. It didn't seem like there was too much in the RStudio markdown or the R markdown either. So I think that would be like half an hour on this 09 lab, and then maybe like half an hour on the support vector machine tidy models. Should be good.
Sounds good.
Okay, awesome. Well, thank you so much for understanding my situation. But yeah, it's a really good book club, and it's been really useful getting to talk about stats in the wild. So.
Okay, we'll see you next week then.
Sounds good.
All right. Thank you.
Cool.
Thank you. Bye-bye, everybody.
Bye.